Hi everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Really good episode today. Plot twist that I did not see coming, so let's get right to it as I readjust over here. There we go. At the floating rib, Nikolas and Hayden are out on a date. Yes, possibly. Yeah, it is their first date. It's confirmed later in the episode. And Sloan is there getting drunk because what else could Sloan do at this point, you know? So Hayden asked Nikolas what he meant when he said he had hurt her in the past, and then Sloan comes over and brings up the Anna thing and is kind of belligerent, not gonna lie. So Hayden has Sloan sit down to talk about his problems, because is she actually nice when she's not being a con artist? Maybe. And then Sloan loudly, he's just making a scene, and then he leaves very loudly. And Nikolas and Hayden get back to their previous conversation, and Nikolas says that he hurt her before because he didn't treat her with respect and never took the time to get to know her. That's sweet, but we know it's a lie. So then after going on and on and on about how great she is, he says he's not sure he can trust her because she says that she doesn't remember Jake's identity and he doesn't fully believe that. And she says she's not sure she trusts him about Helena only telling her about Jake. Good one, Hayden. I'm not gonna lie. Good one. At the hospital, so this hospital part 1, it's broken into 2 parts today because it's that exciting. So, at the hospital, Sonny's convulsing, something's very wrong, and Patrick needs Carly out of the room, and once she's out of the room, Elizabeth says to Patrick, "Is it what I think it is?" And it sounds very ominous, doesn't sound good at all. So Patrick tells Carly that Sonny had a seizure, and Carly wants to know how serious it is, but he says he won't know until more tests come back. And then after meeting with the radiologist, Patrick says he has to give Carly bad news. No, not good. And while, that whole thing's going on, Carly's out in the waiting room. She's praying to Jason, and she's hurting so much, and if only Jason were here to talk to her. Okay, at the police station, Michael tells Dante that he needs to find Carlos, and Anna's like, why? And Michael's like, because I got some information that Carlos was in town and shot my father. So Michael brings up how Anna was the last person to see Carlos alive before he escaped, just what Anna wants to hear. And Michael looks to Anna to confirm Carlos was working with the Jerome organization as an enforcer. So Dante questions where Michael's getting all this information about Carlos, and Michael says he heard it from Carlos's old boss, and Anna's like, what? But with her eyes. She didn't say what, she was just like, what? And Paul looks furious. So Paul gets at the end of it, he gets behind this whole Carlos thing, and Paul issues a new warrant for Carlos and a reward. And Michael gets a text from Carly to come down to the hospital because something's wrong with Sonny, so he takes Dante and leaves. Paul wants to consult with Anna to get a feel for the crime around town and more information about Carlos, and then he has to go because there's a phone call to the station, and Sloan is calling to tell Paul that he has information about Carlos Rivera. So Sloan tells Paul that Anna killed Carlos. Good one. Paul gets off the phone and tells Anna he's gotta go, but keep in touch. And I'm like, Hospital part 2. Dante and Michael arrive. Patrick tells them that Sonny's seizure was caused by an embolism. Not good. And that they need to do surgery ASAP. At Julian's place, Ava tells Julian that that Carlos shot Sonny. Not that Sonny shot Sonny. Julian questions it, but Ava's pretty convincing. She brings up how Julian hung Carlos out to dry with the Duke Lavery hit, and that's why Carlos is setting Julian up now. Julian tells Ava about Anna's visit and how he turned the tables on Anna, and how he thinks he hit a nerve when he kind of accused Anna of taking justice into her own hands. And Ava's like, well, obviously your instincts are wrong because Carlos was just here and he's setting you up. And he asks her how she figured it all out, that it was Carlos. So she says, since he's out of the business, the less he knows, the better, and he agrees. Well, he kind of brings it up. It's like a mutual, the less I know, the better. So she tells him she had to sit down with the 5 families and how Michael was there representing Sonny. It's like mob gossip, He wants to know how she moved into power so quickly. and who her co-conspirator is. And she's like, no, I'm flying solo. It's just me. So he tells her that he thinks she's going to do great, but he's out and shouldn't know anything about the business. And he's got to move out of the apartment. So apparently, now I remember, because I was reminded it was Ava's place that Julian moved in and then just stayed there after Ava died. So, like, Denise moved into her own apartment. Cool story. I don't know where anyone lives. Like, I totally do not retain that information. So Ava tells Julian that Avery's moving in tomorrow, and then apologizes for talking so much about Avery and reminding him of Leo, and he expresses concerns about her being in the mob and getting brought up, getting brought up in court. At Noodle Buddha, there wasn't enough of that, by the way, but Sam wishes Jake could have the same double happiness that Jason and her had, and I'm like, oh my god. So after the renewal, she's now ready to leave Jason behind. Stop it. Just, no, don't do that. So she reasons that there's no way Jason could be alive because he would have found a way back to her. And I'm like, he did. He's right next to you. You literally just renewed your vows with him. He's right there. Like, they're just playing with us now. They're just toying with us. So Sam is leaving the figurines at the restaurant. And I'm like, no, don't do that. End scene. I like the hand thing. Okay, so so she feels the playing field's even when it comes to the mob stuff, and I do agree with that. I don't agree with Ava on a lot of things. I personally just do not like her as a character. Maura West is awesome. Just Ava as a character, I could do without. But I do agree with her with that. Like, when it comes to double standards, like, you know. So he thanks her for helping him out with the whole getting him cleared for, can't think of it. The mob thing, yeah. So they're going to miss living together, too. Carly, Dante, and Morgan give Sonny a pep talk before surgery. Robert, the Noodle Buddha, the grandson that works there, he's insisting on giving Jake the food for free because of what he did for his grandmother. And Jake's like, no. Robert's like, yes. So then Sam arrives at the hospital, presumably to tell Patrick that she's ready to move on. But Patrick's like, I gotta run. I got surgery. I don't have time for this. Ain't nobody got time for that. So then Hayden, when at the floating rib, she recognizes the song playing and remembers dancing to it, but doesn't remember with who, though, and they dance. I don't remember who she danced with that song to. It could be like a number of people, so if you remember, just let me know. Sloan gives Paul the key to the safe deposit box with the murder weapon, and Sloan says he wants complete immunity, like in the deal, for handing this over. So Paul's like, that sounds really fair. Except it would totally ruin my plans to cover up Carlos's murder because that would, like, mess me up. And Sloan's like, I know I'm drugged, but, like, what? And then Paul shoots Sloan, like, at least 3 times. Didn't see that one coming, so, yeah. Bye, Sloan? I don't know. Can you survive, like, 3 gunshots to the chest? That's, yeah. Bye, Sloan. Sorry about that. But in any event, thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And I will see you. I know I had, like, a kind of a moment yesterday with the whole vow renewal thing, because obviously they would still be married since he didn't really die. Like, this is why I need to, like, reason things out before I just say them, like, thinking of it off the cuff, because yeah, obviously, but you know me, it's more of a symbolic ceremonial thing. I'm just making excuses now. I just kind of had a lapse in reason, but in any event, I will. But one thing that did bring it up, since they are, like, married, Sam and Jason, blah, whatever, are married, vow renewal or not, put that to the side. That was just a lapse of a moment I happened. So since they're married, even if Jake got married to Elizabeth on November 6th, the marriage wouldn't be legal because he's already married to someone else, or he'd be a bigamist and he'd get arrested. Like, is that what you want, Elizabeth? You want him arrested for bigamy? And also Sam, if she were to marry Patrick before this whole thing came out, that would be, like, null and void too, because she was already previously married. Or she's currently married. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. So, Elizabeth is just making everyone's lives a lot more complicated, and I'm gonna blame her. I'm just gonna blame her for everything in my life right now. But in any event, thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital. I hope you have a great day. Bye, Rebsy.